Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out. I first want to recognize Officers Rose and French for their outstanding service, and thank the administration and police department for recognizing the great work that they've done to our citizens. On the topic of looking at ways for the city to bring in revenue, to address its problems and so forth, RITA, which is the agency that collects our local municipal income tax, I'm calling a finance committee meeting on Monday, December 1st at 6 p.m. in this room to call in the Central Collection Agency. They collect municipal taxes for the surrounding communities here in the area: Backford, Oakwood Village, Walden Hills, Warrenville Heights, Highland Hills. I think it's important we look at alternative ways for collecting the taxes and see if we can maximize our income tax collection as well as go after those people who are not paying their taxes. So there'll be a presentation by the ACC that night, so I encourage you to come out and hear that information, factual information. Come out and hear what the council is doing on alternative ways we can capture money. You know, people up here, there's some people who I think that do a great job on council, and there's people who want to use people as props, but they have yet to come up with a plan. And I think that the best way to show that you really care about the city is through actions, not through words. So you always have to be mindful when people are up here talking, what is their true intent? What are they really trying to do? Are they trying to use you, or are they trying to work for you? You elect us to trust us, to make the right decisions in your interest. Not to manipulate systems, not to use people as props for political gain, but come up with solutions. And throughout the entire year, I want you to think back for those people who have come up here, what have been the solutions that have been put forth? Not just the blame, but the solutions. Because we're elected as leaders. So how are we leading? Are we pointing the blame on our colleagues? Are we coming up with a plan and introducing, whether it's legislation, or it's initiatives, or is it programs we're using to help people, whether it's a health and wellness fair, or something to help our small businesses? Ask that question. So it's very important that we're being very mindful of things that we're hearing. You know, there's a website, yes, Maple Heights News, but it's one-sided. There's not a check in the balance.
No, I'll see you.
You can go to the Plain Dealer, you can go to other reputable news sources, and there's one side percentage, and then there's another side. That's a reputable, objective news source. So always consult the sources that you're using. Don't just use a one-sided website that, I have a website, this is what I put out, it's factual. Check your news sources. Don't just go by one side. And people are forgetting that. They're being introduced to all this information, this website, website, I have this, and so on. I'm God. Well, it doesn't work that way. You need to be very conscientious of the information that's being put out to the community. Because, you know, people are trying to hijack, trying to use certain tools to wedge an issue against the people in the government, rather than bringing the government closer to the people, and the people bringing the interests together to work on our solutions. So you got to be mindful of that. There are people who are going to use you. And I know what happened election day, happened election day. It's time to move forward. Yes, the traffic cameras were an issue. The issue has been dealt with on election day. The people voted, it's time to move forward. So what are we going to do to move forward? Not let's talk about the past. Let's work on the future. What are we going to do to get the city moving forward? What are our colleagues going to do to make that process happen? What are we as the citizens of the city going to make that happen? Are we going to continue to use the same rhetoric? So, in 2 weeks, let's come together. Happy Thanksgiving, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Councilwoman Agee, just push them off.
Good evening. I received a couple of calls from some seniors in my district, and I promised them I will work hard to make sure we keep the senior center open. That's all I can do is do my best. On Thursday, November the 20th, I'll be having my annual turkey giveaway and a block watch meeting at the Maple Heights Library at 6:30. 2 new businesses has opened up in District 7, Papa John's Pizza, and No Exercise Fitness. And please, everybody, can you go out and patronize Papa John's, because they hired the Maple Heights seniors from the school system.
All right.
Young lady, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. For Oakwood, yes. At the end of the meeting, I'd like to talk to you. And yes, I did knock on doors for the election. And we work hard trying to get everybody out to vote. Have a happy and safe Thanksgiving in the report.
Thank you, Ravina. Councilman Albers, District 1.
It has been busy in District 1. Some claims about unsecured garbage scattered around the streets. Police activity at a home on Dunham. Smoke on Carroll Drive. And residents wondering when their streets are going to be plowed. Our Maple Heights Police, Fire, and Service departments are on the ball and took care of everything, even with the diminished numbers of personnel. I also received a call from a resident who needed help with her gas bill and had no idea where to go for help. Like many calls before, I referred her to Linda Vovette, her department, for help. This woman wasn't old. She wasn't disabled. She was a resident of Maple Heights who needed assistance. We all go through difficult times and may need some advice or help. We need help. Tax, doctor appointments, some social services available, or maybe where to get some needed food. The food pantry had last Thursday helped 60 families that was in a 3-hour period. Meals on Wheels is also a critical need for many of our residents on a daily basis. One gentleman is blind and needs meals as well as would help with his bills and going to doctor's appointment. Jamie, who works in the Human Service Department, actually takes him in for his visits because he can't see. He has no family, just Maple Heights. He will try and hold you up by asking you questions about the food. But what is going on with the Indians? Or is the sun shining today? He needs so much, but mostly someone to care. This department is a critical life force in Maple Heights, and I hope we can find the money in the budget to keep this department open. Council, we will be looking into the budget. We will be trying to shave off some meat to see if we can make that possible. Any way we can. And I regret not being more vocal about all the help Linda Vovette has done for me as a councilor in my job as a council person. And I've sent her many, many hard problems. And you know what? She solved it. So I thank you, Linda. I thank all of you for your comments tonight, because you all hit it on the head. And it all came from the heart. Those of us that volunteered in this service here, Meals on Wheels, gets to see firsthand the need of these people. My wife goes 3 times a week. I used to go. I got leg problems. They got me a runner now, and I miss it. And they got no one I go. The blind fellow I talked about, we talk. We're friends. And some of you know who he is. Very nice guy. He's devastated. What am I going to do? My wife came home today and told me about her runner that went into a house that you have to take the food in because she can't make it to the door. Asked the young lady, please sit down and talk to me for 5 minutes. The young lady did. Teresa says, what was you in there for so long for? She wanted to talk. These little things that all of the seniors do that we provide right here is no longer going to be because of the budget. We're going to try. And I asked everybody to pray for Maple Heights that we can make that possible. We'll forget about the election and the remarks that Mr. Brownlee made. Yes, you have a Maple Heights news site. Well, that's great if you can get on a computer and get it. I don't watch it. Some of the things you said, Bill, volunteering and all that, and about the election and that, I'm just going to forget about it. You've been blowing smoke too long. And I'm not going to light another fire on you. No, I ain't going to do that.
You guys can't get along.
I'm asking you people
Exactly. Right?
to do the right thing.
They can't get along.
Don't put blame on anybody. Don't play them on the mayor or this council. Now, as for the meeting that Bill's going to put on, I have this to say. Monday, we had a meeting, and our finance director, Irene Caldwell, came in and presented the 2014 and the 2015 appropriations and went through the budget. One resident. That's what we had. You want to hear? It was here. You want to go to a Bill Bromley's meeting when you already heard? You want to see what this council will do? What this council has to be doing? Come to our December the 1st meeting. You want to hear finances? We're going to have a finance meeting December the 1st, right before our budget meeting at 6 o'clock, right here. And you're all invited. You're more than welcome. And see us at work. There's not going to be maybe this, maybe that, maybe this, maybe that. They did this, they did that. You'll see with your own eyes what we do and what we discuss. Some of us will not be playing to that camera. We'll be playing to our business at hand on the budget, not to that camera, because we're going to do what's best for all of you and the seniors if we can. I'd like to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving, and please, you're invited to that meeting on December the 1st. And I thank the 2 patrolmen for their efforts on behalf of the police department, with our chief, for the fine job they're doing for Maple Heights. With that, good night, and I thank you all. God bless you.
Thank you, Albers. A lot of information tonight, a lot of facts and figures to assimilate, and I hope that you've listened. This is the second meeting that we've had since the levies and all of the other ballot issues. And I really am pleased to see this crowd that's been so receptive, and also all of the commentary that we have heard tonight. Again, we will have another meeting on December 1st. I'm going to piggyback. Excuse me, if I could possibly finish my comments. Thank you. I'm going to piggyback on Councilman Trojanski's meeting. He will have the first meeting on December 1st at 6 o'clock to 7, and then we will have our committee meeting of the whole from 7 to 8, or whenever it ends. The last one was a little long. For my meeting, the committee of the whole, we will continue the discussion of the 2015 projections and review all the options to maintain our essential services. And I have to tell you that I do believe that this council and the administration is very much committed to finding solutions for not only the senior center, but for all the departments that are being looked at, especially the senior center. And also a thank you to the chief for noticing and giving a special notice presentation to his staff. That's always a good thing, to get a pat on the back once in a while. And I thank Mr. Dover for that pat. It's appreciated.
I think you're all very trustworthy.
Thank you. I appreciate that too. Also, I think we also have to commend the council. The accusation that we did not work for this last levy is so false. I can't begin to go back over all of that, because that's kind of silly. But we did work. We did work. And we will continue to work. And with that, with no further business coming before this council, I'm going to say have a great Thanksgiving, enjoy your families, and this meeting is adjourned at 9:40.